Welcome back to PIXI Game Podcast, and now we enter the PIXI Partner Up segment. Now, before we start this PIXI Partner Up segment,
yes,
I've done a little bit of research over the last week.
Okay.
And I've looked back at all the games we've ever played.
Mad.
With the help of Amy, which was ideal. And we looked back through all of them and all of the ratings we've given. I just thought I'd run through them just to sort of see what we've done. Because it's quite interesting for me when I went back through. So these are all the games that me and Luke have sat down and played co-op together and given ratings to, basically. Overall ratings. We've obviously broken down each individual one on the podcast that you'll be able to find. But these are our full list so far. Lego Star Wars was our first game. Luke gave it a 5 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Army of Two was our second game. Luke gave it a 7.5 and I gave it an 8.
Jesus.
Halo 3 got a 4 out of 10 from Luke and a 6 out of 10 from me. Borderlands 2 on the Xbox 360 got an 8.5 from Luke and an 8 from me. Tetris Ultimate, which was the failed Hawks week.
Oh, yeah.
Luke gave it a 7 and I gave it a 7. We agreed on that week. I think that's the only week we've agreed on.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Broforce is a 9 from Luke
boy.
and a 9.8 from me. Yeah.
Topping it.
Lord of the Rings Conquest after that was a little bit of a down week.
What?
That was 2.5 from Luke and 2 from me. And then Overcooked 2 got 9.5 from you, Luke, and 9.6 from me. So I thought that Overcooked 2 was our highest rated game.
Overall, yeah.
I think overall it is, but I gave Broforce a higher
9.8,
9.8 actually, which surprised me actually. Smash Bros Ultimate 3.5 from Luke, 5 from me, and obviously just to sort of reiterate again, this is not the game itself, but it is how the game works when you're on the same team working cooperatively.
Yes, sync couch a lot.
Mario Kart, our lowest rated game, even lower than Lord of the Rings Conquest.
Was it really? No.
Yeah. 2 from both of us. FIFA 19, a 9 from you, Luke, and an 8.5 from me. And Black Ops 3 last week, of course, was 8.5 from Luke and 8 from me.
That's
so
right.
I'm obviously adding Knack to the list now.
Yes.
As we speak. And we move on to today's PIXI Partner Up. I just thought it was interesting to see what we've been through. Now we have the list as reference as well now, so I'll keep adding to it and we can see, not just out of our own minds what's the best, but actually what actually is the best.
What actually is the best, yeah.
And
nice
what we've rated as the highest. But I think joint-wise, it is Overcooked 2 is the reigning champion of PIXI Partner Up.
Yeah, 100%. That's great fun.
But this week we played Knack, which is a release title for PS4, and it's a 3D platformer.
Yes.
And it was actually quite fun.
It was very fun. I mean, it comes across as a kid's game, not going to lie.
It's
something like that.
Tailored to kids, for sure.
Definitely, but
really corny characters and stuff.
Yeah, different abilities and stuff. But I think going into it, I had a long tutorial actually.
Yeah, really long tutorial.
It was quite simple, so obviously you can know what it was aimed at. Getting into the maps, you're fighting goblins, obviously not the biggest of enemies, stuff like that. Really enjoyed the idea of growing. Obviously you had that.
So you could knock these pieces that would then add to you and make you a bigger, stronger. Give you more power, basically, make you a harder target to hit, give you more life.
Yes, that was one thing.
And stuff like that. That was really interesting. And obviously Luke came along as my little silver sidekick.
He literally come as a clone copy of you, I think it was. And then to get bigger, though, you got it from the buildings and bricks and stuff. I got it from killing enemies, which was good because it didn't mean as soon as you got bigger, I got bigger.
No,
I could be tiny, you could be big. It was an incentive for me to actually go and kill more than him.
Yes,
basically, which I thought was quite good. Give a bit of competition in it. Moving on from that, what else was there? I'm trying to lost it.
Yeah, it was one thing that specifically happened that was odd. Was because Luke was this little silver kind of version of me, you were invincible. So this was the biggest thing, was that Luke was actually technically invincible. If I died, we
respawned.
If Luke died, he respawned where I am.
Yeah.
So if I waited round the corner from the goblins, Luke could go round the corner, fight them, and then even if he died 40 times, he could go round. Not that he did, but like there was a couple of times where I was like, oh, they're a bit hard, and then I just waited back. Luke got in there, and then I could just carry on with the mission, which was a little bit of a game breaker. Not necessarily breaks the whole game, because if you become, the more Luke dies, the smaller he becomes, basically. And then when you went in there as like little tiny baby Knack,
you get smashed.
You just get one hit kill. But there was a couple of times where it required us to link up and stuff like that. So
definitely.
So we'll sort of go into our subsections now.
Yeah.
Gameplay
was very smooth. Like I said, I asked how old it was. I think you said 6-7 years.
5-6 years.
Something like that. And for what it ran, I thought it was really smooth, you know? I did get like a hint of like Lego games though.
It was very Lego. It was the 3D platforming was what made it feel that way.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I really enjoyed it. Gameplay was really fun, nice and simple. There was only a couple of attacks I think that you could use. You know, the object of what you were doing was nice and easy. It was easy to find where you were going. You're never getting lost. You know, with you next to me, it was, you know,
I'd
just
say
having a bit of...
the knock would be that it's over simple. Like it's jump and whack. It's like there ain't really much else. You got like a little special power up you could do that would knock loads of enemies down. But apart from that, it was just jump, whack, and move out of the way of the enemies.
Yeah.
Which was just like a little bit too simple for me. And it actually worked out as a really chilled afternoon.
It was, yeah.
We just sat there like, oh, you know, like enjoying life.
It wasn't difficult. We didn't have to like...
You know, as opposed to one of the on the list that we've got a really high rating, Broforce, like where we're like, both leant forward, intense, like, right, how are we going to take on this enemy? You know, like that's the kind of the difference, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%.
So gameplay for me, too simple, I think. Moving on to, how is the co-op utilised?
Co-op utilised. Now, obviously you were saying I was technically invincible from if you could stay alive, so I think that was something they got wrong, because if you were in a harder difficulty, I think it might have been easier, because you could just send me in.
Yep.
You could just keep getting bigger and bigger, and then you could go in. But for it to be utilised,
there was nothing that
stood out.
Specifically,
there's nothing where I jumped at you.
Yeah, there was nothing where like you had to grab something and I could go through there or anything like that. It was just basically like the classic thing that we do often moan about on the PIXI Pod, right? Which is you are this spare part as a second player.
Literally was.
And like even when the cutscenes were there, you know, Luke would disappear and then he'd have to swarm back in after a cutscene and stuff like that. So like, you know, it was cool having both of you there, but it was also annoying because you know you're not. It's not that co-op experience like Army of Two. Another one of the examples where you are both an individual character that has meaning in it. And
has
to
be used, in each way.
But the co-op wasn't greatly utilised in it. Did I need him? Absolutely.
Yeah, we were saying this during play. We were like, Christ, it was just, I think it's like we said, we used that little glitch or whatever you want to call it. We used that a couple of times to get through some bits. We also, it just helped because like sometimes you'd come around with like 8 enemies around. Yeah. And you did have to have someone else with you. So.
And often because Luke was, once again, he was invincible, he could run in there and often they would like all focus their attention on him and they would all like sort of like channel into you and then I'd be able to just get whacked in behind them and stuff like that because it's basically all sort of punch based, isn't it? So you just punch them all down.
Very media.
So there was loads of times where there was like archers and stuff where Luke would like jump up and they'd look and start shooting at Luke and then I'd jump up and give him a whack behind him and stuff like that, which was good actually, and that worked really well. And that's the kind of thing we want as well.
That's what we want.
Is this like, you know, these distraction techniques and all this kind of stuff that all leads into the same thing where
100%.
You know, it gives you that purpose then. So although he didn't have much purpose as an actual character in the story,
no, not at all.
In terms of the levels, like how many times did I die when I went first?
There was a couple where and it'd be the same not boss, but enemy as well. And you were just like, oh God, go in. And then you come in behind again. And it worked. But we used what we had and it worked really well at the end. So,
it was all right. I definitely did need you.
Yeah.
Split screen.
Well, yeah, it was like I said, it was like a lot of the Lego games. So, sort of, the only thing I did notice, there was, if I went off screen when you were in front and I was out of view, basically, I think there was a little like loading bar or circle, should I say. And I take it if we'd had run down a certain time, I would have just respawned on you. So obviously it was very much you had to keep up with each other. One of you couldn't run on, one of you couldn't be too far back. But
if you ran on, the camera wouldn't pull.
Yes, that's
so
true.
if Luke ran on, the camera would just stay with me, and he'd just keep going into the distance.
Yeah.
But if I ran on, I'd just completely get rid of you.
Get rid of me, and I was off the screen.
Yeah, so you'd go off the screen, and like the only thing that was odd was like the camera was very like, I'd say like Resident Evil 2. It was like you'd like run this way, and it would be above you like this, and or like above your head like bird's eye view, and then all of a sudden it would be like you're running at the camera.
Yeah.
And then like especially when you're going through the little bits of the levels and stuff like that, which was a little bit odd.
Yeah.
But I'd say the split screen was okay because it wasn't actually split. We were still on the same screen, which always makes, I think, for a little bit of a better experience.
I love it, yeah. Jesus.
But it was still annoying because I kept losing Luke all the time, and you'd have to just, you're pretty easy with it. But if it was the other way around, I'd have been like, oh god, I keep getting caught all the time. Because even if you got caught on a rock and I double jumped, you'd be like, gone. You know what I mean?
Sport straight back on you. Yeah, that's the only thing.
So split screen wasn't great.
Wasn't the best.
But I think overall the game was fun.
It was very fun, fun.
It was definitely like easy going. It was just felt like
you said, it's nice and relaxed for this afternoon. Just sit down, have a couple hours on it, see what's going on. And I think like we said, we definitely saw enough of it because it was so simple. It was like class them as a 2-button game. I think that's what it was really. So it was quite nice just to come and relax and play that. Really,
definitely.
Have a little dabble.
It was a difference from the other weeks we've been playing. Like Call of Duty was quite intense last week, especially story-wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like going from that, and the fact that we're playing such different games all the time is really, really entertaining. Like if you look at that list we've got, like the amount of different games we've already played is like really quite cool.
And that's what we're trying to do as well.
Yeah, get all the flavours and then find the best one basically and what works best. But it was really cool this week. But it wasn't outstanding. There wasn't. What we really want is that moment where we both look at each other and go, thank God we got through that. Like in Army of Two, another example is like, I'd be down, Luke would kill someone, he'd res me back up, and we'd have got through a really hard bit, and it was like, nice one, bruv. That's
nice
kind
one,
of
brother.
So that's the kind of thing we are looking for, and this was, I would say, vanilla.
Yeah, very vanilla, very vanilla for co-op.
Overall rating.
I'm going to go quite low. It was very, like I said, very simple. And like you said, I didn't really have much of a part of the story or anything like that. I sort of was just there, just an extra person, really. So I'm going to give it a 4, 3.5, 3.5, 4, 3.75.
3.75 from Luke.
Right in the middle.
The first ever 3.75 when picking partner up. Congratulations, Knack. I'm going to give it a 4. Yeah. It wasn't bad, but it was not good.
No.
And I don't think it warrants a 5 because I think even a 5 is more entertaining.
Yeah. For a single player game, if it was one of us just playing on our own, brilliant, lovely. Nice little fun little game.
Yeah.
You probably could.
But even then, I think I'd be like, I prefer to play something else.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's always that other distractions around, like other games that are higher up and stuff.
Yeah, that are better,
Exactly.
So yeah, Knack, an average co-op experience. But very easy going. If you want no stress, just relax.
Play with the kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
if you were playing with, like, if I was playing with Jessica or something like that, like just being able to play like that would be pretty easy. Especially if they're invincible and they can't get killed.
Yeah,
as well. Be ideal.
Exactly.
But yes, that is Knack for this week, and next week, week after next, I keep forgetting.
It is.
We will be doing a new game called Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. Yeah, it's an indie game, and I will be uploading some gameplay of it to my Twitter and stuff like that, so you'll be able to see what it's like. But yes, very odd.
Yes,
and we'll see how it goes actually, because I think this might be a diamond in the rough.
Let's hope so, mate. I'm hoping so.
It's either going to be one of those ones where we're both going to be like, nope, or we're going to be like, that was
fun. That's it, mate. That's all the games that we've given the high scores to. They've just been fun.
Yeah, because when we started Broforce, it was a bit dodge, wasn't it? We were both a bit like,
dodge.
Here we go.
It was, yeah. Here we go again. So, and then suddenly you get all these characters. You're like,
when we took out that tank. That tank, that was beast.
Absolute plays, mate.
It was an emotional moment. Okay, so that will be next week, and we will keep updating the list, and we'll be able to refer to it now as well. So we have a consistent leaderboard, of all the games. Like perhaps we'll put a leaderboard up at some point on the videos and stuff like that as well. It'd be cool.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, we now move on to the weird and wonderful world of Rise Randoms.